okay? So today,
sorry, I just got to fix my screen a bit here. Okay, go ahead.
It's better now?
Yeah, too small.
Yeah, perfect. I'm going to stay in the Maxpanda headquarters site today for most of the presentation. So that just pretend that's going to be your site. And this site has 22 buildings and about, I don't know, 10, 15 pieces of equipment, etc. As an example, as the company administrator, okay, top level role, that would be you, you could go to the New York site and you can investigate what's happening there. This site has only 5 active work orders in certain statuses, but these are different people in here. It's different staff, different buildings, different assets, locations, parts, etc. Okay, is that clear now with the site management?
Yeah.
I'm going to stay in the one site just to keep things simple because it sounds like you'll just need the one site. So when I log in, it takes me to my default site, which is Maxpanda headquarters. Now let's look at the roles that who can see what in your account. Now I mentioned company admin, that's you. You have access to everything. More importantly, anything that says company, the company admin or editor has access to all the sites by default. So if you are creating multiple sites. The company admin has access to the company tab here. This is where you can upgrade, downgrade your plan, customize the emails that go out, and basically customize the entire Maxpanda experience for your staff and customers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
The next level down is the company editor. That person can do everything in the account, add new locations, create people, staff, etc. But under the company tab, there's only a couple options they can do. We don't give them access to customizing the Maxpanda experience. Now, site admin and a site editor, those mimic the top roles, but they're only applied to one site. Again, that's only if you're using multiple sites. But every one of these roles you can mix and match if you are using multi-site management. So as an example, Steve can be a staff personnel here, like maintenance staff only in the New York site. But the IT department, I could be a site administrator with full rights to add equipment, delete equipment, things like that, okay? So we have 4 maintenance roles for you to assign your staff to. We'll start at the bottom. We have 2 staff and 2 supervisors. These are maintenance roles. Now, if I logged in as a staff limited, you'll notice I don't have view all list here. So I can't see all the work orders in this particular site. I have to be assigned to every work order from Tracy, okay? If you made me a staff unlimited role, I don't need to wait for you to assign me a work order. I have view all screen here. So if I go to view all, I actually can see there's a new pending work order right here. So it's yellow. Somebody typed in the light bulb in room 6 is out. So I can actually edit this work order, assign myself to it, approve it, make it green, and actually complete the work order. And then you or supervisor can do a final close, which that's what that's the supervisor's role. The supervisor, editor, admins can actually close the work orders. So just to recap, we have a pre-approval process and a post-approval process. So a pending work order and a closed work order. That's the spectrum of the work order life cycle. We have a submitter role. Those people here, they can only do 2 things. They can submit new work orders in the system right here, but they also have a database, full database of all the work orders they've submitted. And we want to keep them in the loop of every stage of the work order so they can log in and they can see, okay, this one's still waiting to be approved, so I'm not going to bother Tracy yet. Or I can edit it and type in new notes and say, Tracy, when are you going to get to my light bulb? It's been a couple of weeks.
So, sorry, say again how the approval works, the pre-approval and the post-approval. I lost you there a bit on that.
No problem. So this is a pending work order right now, right?
Okay.
Somebody submitted it through here, and we're going to create one. We're going to create a dummy work order in a few minutes, but someone submitted a work order. When that work order comes into your account, see, we break up your work orders in different categories here. So if I go to pending work orders, these are all yellow. They're all pending. These are not work orders. orders, and they don't count part of your monthly count. These are basically people that what they requested, right?
Okay.
So your tenants, for example, one of your tenants, Jack and Steve, I guess a bunch of them, or no, these are staff. But somebody put in light bulb is burnt out, right? So you can actually now a staff unlimited supervisor, editor, admin can actually approve or reject this work order. So it's basically like a ticket system. Okay. So if these are all system roles, so as a submitter, for example, I can't see everything, right? Like my capabilities are I can only submit work orders for my specific location, unit, building, whatever, site. It really depends on what type of permissions you set up for me. The tenants and the submitter roles are the same thing. So we use the terminology tenant if they're in an apartment, multi-unit. A submitter would be like a teacher or a professor at a university that you just want them to submit work orders in the system. Now we have a view-only role. This person cannot submit work orders. You'll notice the button is gone. They can only view data to work orders you've assigned them to. So and if I edit this work order, you'll notice I can't add any notes. I can't edit any piece of the information. It's only for view-only purposes. Do you use contractors or subcontractors at all?
Yes.
Vendor? So there's two vendor roles you can assign your vendors to. There's the vendor limited. This role, the company cannot submit work orders in your account. The vendor unlimited role, so I've logged in as a vendor unlimited, I can submit work orders in your account, which is great because if I'm doing filter changes for you, as example here, there's a filter change I need to do. It's been assigned to me by Tracy. What if I notice something else on the roof, like cracks in the fascia or things like that? I can actually, on my mobile, iOS or Android or tablets, I can take a picture, I can submit a work order, take a picture, add audio notes, whatever, and submit it to you as a pending request, right? And you can approve it before and assign it to my company before I even leave the roof. So then I can actually complete 2 work orders on the same day. Vendors and staff can create invoices and attach them to the work orders. Vendors have access to their POs, purchase orders they've been assigned to or been approved by you for them as well. Now I'm going to stay as a company admin because I want you to see all the menu on the side there. But all of these roles I just showed you, if I was you, I would go here, invite a user, and you said you had 10 staff, so I'm going to invite 10 Max Steves. So here's my 10, 15 Steves. These are all my maintenance staff here. So I would set them up as staff unlimited, and they would be in the Australia site. Okay, so these guys work in Australia. If I click invite, each person is going to receive an email, and they'll be responsible to set up their profile. So my profile, the username is their email address. They can use it in different languages if they wanted to. And each person can opt in and out of different status emails. Because when the notes and comments are updated, like let's say your tenant updates a comment in the note, the notes in their work order, if you have this checked, you and the staff will receive an email and a push alert. You know, those pop-ups in iOS and things like that. Right. So all this is customized at the user level there. All right, so I'm going to create a new work order today. And Tracy, maybe you want to give me an example so we can do a real-life scenario together?
The filter change was good.
Is that like something that somebody would submit, or that's PM?
Maybe a PM.
Yeah, so we'll leave the PMs for now. Give me something else that, somebody called in or emailed you or texted you.
Maybe, how about windows need cleaning?
Excellent. So who am I? Am I a tenant?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm going to click here, submit button here, because you've given me access as a tenant unlimited or limited. The limited and unlimited difference is that the unlimited can see all work orders within a particular building, but the limited cannot. They can only see work orders in their location. So whether they're in the unit 1 within a building, they'll only see unit 1 work orders. Okay, so work order title. Now all of this text on the side here for the form can be altered. It's customized by you. So if you don't like work order title, you can put, changes to please specify your issue or whatever. So I'm going to put in here, windows are super dirty, clean them please. Now whatever I'm typing in here, the work order title is very important. All you need is 3 items to create a work order in Maxpanda, okay? All these are optional, and I've made them required. But this work order title text becomes the push notification pop-ups in your iPhones and your Androids. It's also the link in the emails that you're going to receive. So if you have the mobile app GoMax loaded, this will pop up on your screen, and even though you're at lunch, you're not at your desk, you're going to get a pop-up, and you can reject it or approve it right there and then. Okay, so that's a very cool feature. Reference ID is an open field. Again, I've seen clients use GL codes to capture GL codes or other items there. Now, what would you put this under? Cleaning, am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, and you can set up your own work categories. Every drop-down in Maxpanda is pre-populated for you already. You can start using it right after this call. So you'll have HVAC, cleaning, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff here, but I'll pick cleaning right now. Priority, everybody needs to select a priority. Again, this is all customized depending on your service level agreements. I've got 7 days, I've got 5 days, I've got 3 hours, 6 hours. What's the due date on this? What would somebody put typically?
Like tomorrow.
What, like tomorrow you said, or 12?
Like probably pretty urgent.
Okay, so what if they made a mistake and we'll say they put medium 5? I'll show you what we can do after that. Saving time, I'm going to copy and paste. So that's their short description, and then this is the notes. They typed it in 3 times here. Really want them clean. They can carbon copy somebody outside of the organization if they log in. So if you have somebody that is not involved in your account, I don't know why, it's unlimited users, but they can carbon copy them. Now, building group is a group. I have 3 building groups set up, IT. So if I pick IT, you'll notice out of those 20 buildings, only 2 show up. So we allow you to group your buildings together. If you don't create building groups, you'll just see all the buildings here. Again, if I was a tenant and I'm assigned to M13, I would only see that one available. Under M13, there are 2 locations that I have options to select. So these are all, the group and the buildings are filters for the location and the asset. Now I'm forcing my staff to pick a location and asset. Okay. I'm gonna pick first floor. So my team, whoever I'm gonna assign the work order to, they're gonna have 5 days. The windows are on the first floor. Now, just for fun, I'm going to select some equipment. I'm going to select some HVAC unit and my Ford truck, just so you can see how the data works. And all these assets are only related to the M13 building. The submitter would not be able to edit this information here, like all day task or can they enter the work area or not. I can take a picture of the dirty window and attach it to this work order. So when you're ready to approve it, you're going to see how dirty they are, and you're going to escalate the job to 24 hours. So let's submit the work order now, and you'll notice a work order is created. We're going to start at the very top here. Forget about your tenant now. We're going to talk about you. So Tracy, you received an email, and if you were on the desktop, you're logged into Maxpanda, you'll notice a new pending work order just came in, correct? Windows are super dirty, clean them please. So it's up to you now, whether you want to be on your desktop or your mobile or your tablet, you can edit the work order because you received a push alert and you received an email. And you have 2 options. You can simply reject it or approve it. Now, you don't want to approve it because you haven't assigned it to anybody yet, right? So The first part is the work order details. So that's what we're working on right now. We see the windows need cleaning. We noticed they selected 5 days, but you're going to escalate it now. You're going to change it to 1 day. Maxpanda is going to automatically change the due date for you. We're not approving it yet. We're just going to wait a few minutes. Now, you notice the tenant typed this in 3 times. We don't need that, so you can actually clean that up for them. This is continued. They can enter more information up until this work order is completed. Okay. Right now, it's not a work order. It's simply pending. You have a private note section. Private notes are only visible for your maintenance staff, supervisor, editor, admin, the top roles, the maintenance department. The comments is where a maintenance or a vendor would put in any comments they wanted to. The comments is visible to the submitter. So notes and comments are communicated back and forth. Any questions so far?
No.
All of this is optional. All of this is automatically timestamped by the application. You know who created the work order. You can add more files to it. Your staff will know where they're going. If this is going to be assigned to a vendor, I would pick, I don't know, do I have a vendor here? We'll just pick Acme Electric. So this is one of my vendors in this site here, Acme Electric. They're going to have a new work order under their to-do list. They will have 24 hours to complete the work order. On day 2, it becomes red, overdue. All your overdue work orders are right there, plus your view all and company-wide screen. We keep a history and timestamp of all and status history of all of your work orders, all 3 various types. The next tab is your tasks. So I'm going to click on Add New Task right from the work order. It's from here. And you'll notice I have 32 predefined tasks already. And a task could simply be, did you clean up your area, and have a checkbox for them to complete it, right? If you add a task to Maxpanda work order, the staff have to complete the tasks before they can complete the work order, okay? I'm going to add a roof inspection report. So I've got my team going on the first floor or maybe the 10th floor to clean the windows. They might as well go on the roof and do an inspection. Let's look at what it looks like right now on the desktop. So I wrote this thing up about 15 years ago. Your staff must complete the task, or they can say not completed, finish a few of these items that I wrote up, and then tomorrow come in and complete it, right? You can assign different staff to the task than the staff to the work order. So think about a task like a work order within a work order, or another vendor. We can include pictures, docs, audio files to the task as well. Now, when I wrote this thing up, this was a paper-based checklist. I digitized it. So on the mobile app, my staff is going to put in here what was the attic, what did the attic look like. They would put a 5. Any garbage on the roof? No. The type of details you can create to capture are number, letters, dates with time, and checkboxes. So 5 different values and data sets within one task, but you can have unlimited details within a task. And you can add multiple tasks to the work order.
Can you say that again, Steve?
You can add multiple tasks to a work order.
Okay.
Like here, I'll go like that.
What were the that were variables?
Oh, the variables are the basic ones. Numbers, letters, like any type of letter. An inspection, like the day, and an inspection with a time, or calendar dates, and checkboxes.
Okay.
So 5 different types. All right. So we don't have time to complete all these tasks, so I'm just going to remove them. Now, the next piece of your work order is the part management. So you'll notice 2 parts came up already. You can create a new part. Maybe you just ordered, 1,000 sponges to clean the windows. These 2 parts were assigned to those assets I put into the work order already. So if I add new part, I can add new parts. This is my entire inventory here just in this site. So I can add a test node here, whatever, right? So your staff will see how many they have on hand. So here I've got 153 in the warehouse. If I use 3, this goes down to 150. You can have minimum quantity levels to get notified, so you can reorder more, or create a purchase order and have that come in. We have direct issue as well with our purchase orders. Now, direct issue module means that if you ordered, let's say, 100 parts, you really need 10 right away to complete a work order. Well, when those 100 come in, you don't need to bring them into the warehouse right away. You can assign 10 right from the PO to a specific work order so your staff can complete them. And the other 9 will go to your warehouse total inventory. The next piece now is your staff. We want to assign this work order to some staff here. So I'm going to assign it to Jimmy and maintenance department and Maxwell. So I see their hourly rate because I'm logged in as Tracy right now, company admin. Now, Tracy, you can capture your staff's weekly hours to see how many hours they're working total on work orders. You can also set a maximum amount, like 30 hours a week. So if people are working, or if this number was like 29, you don't want to add Jimmy to it because he might go overtime, right? On the mobile, they would put in how many hours and minutes they worked before they're completing this work order. You can force this or keep it open, optional for you. It's totally up to you. Invoice, I'll add an invoice. I created the invoice earlier, let's say. So Acme Electric charged us $409 to wash the windows. So we'll add that invoice there. You can create a new invoice within a work order, or under accounting here, just create a new invoice and then add it for tomorrow. Work order attachments are anything that you uploaded during the life cycle of the work order. Now, I didn't upload anything, but under company attachments, you'll notice there's some data here. So the location that we selected, the first floor, has a floor plan. So if you really need, people to know where a specific asset is, it also has a Google map. The piece of equipment, the truck and the HVAC unit have some pictures, and they also have YouTube videos that will help my staff or vendor to check, the O&M manuals and whatever needs to be done on this piece of equipment. Same with the parts as well. These will always be available.
Sorry to interrupt, Steve. What's the capacity of the repository for those sorts of reference information?
There's no capacity, but every file maximum is 10 megs. So you can't upload your own movie that's over 10 megabytes, but you can add as many as you want. And
it's always stored on the cloud?
Everything's on the cloud. We're on Amazon. Your data's on the Amazon cloud.
Okay.
Now I'm going to approve the work order, and that's all you had to do. I went into a lot of detail, right? Theoretically, you would assign your staff to the work order like I did down here on the mobile, and then click the button approve. So two things just happened now, Tracy. Number one is the vendor and the staff that I've assigned this work order to received an email. They have a new work order on their to-do list, and they have a push alert, right? So they know they have to do this job now, and it is a one-day job. It's due tomorrow at 1:46. The other thing is the person that submitted the work order received an email that said, great news, your work order number 771, windows are dirty, has been approved. So that tenant or that staff member, whoever it was who submitted it, is not going to call you, is not going to email you. They know that the job has started. So let's go ahead and edit this work order now. And I'm going to pretend I am a staff personnel. Now, you'll notice there's more status change options here. So your staff can actually put the work order on hold so it doesn't go overdue because they ordered some sponges or some cleaning material from out of the Bahamas, and it's going to take longer than a day to arrive. So they might as well put it on hold. When the parts arrive, they can put it back in progress. And Maxpanda timestamps all that for you, okay? Your staff would not see the closed or the canceled buttons on the desktop or the mobile. Those are only for the company admins, supervisors, editors. Okay.
And you could send me the what the mobile snapshots look like?
Oh yeah, I will, no problem.
Okay.
So today we're going to skip all that settings. We don't have time, but I'm going to just go ahead and close it. But before I close it, I wanted to go down here and explain all the tasks have to be completed. Parts, we'll pretend we use 3 of these parts here. Your staff needed 3 of these for some reason. Now this part has a cost to it. So if it was $1, we are going to have reports with $3 cost on this work order. Okay. Staff, we'll pretend this person worked some hours and this person worked some hours here. So they each worked a couple of hours. Invoice, we added an invoice already. This is an external cost to the work order, and we didn't upload any documentations, and that's always going to be available. All right, so at this point, your staff, it was ready to complete it. It would have been orange, completed. You would have received an email, push alert, and then you can simply close the work order. Now, if you want to close it, you can put a pop-up note there. Any pop-up notes will be stored in your status history, okay? So I'm going to simply close the work order there. And again, I think you have you're getting the idea that everyone assigned and related to the work order is going to get an email and a push alert if they have the mobile app installed. And the mobile app is free. It's included in your account. So, and the third thing is all this data now is being stored to the cloud in your database for reporting, and no data is ever deleted. You'll notice there's no delete buttons in your work order. Okay, so everything is permanently stored on the cloud. Now you won't see your work orders here right now. I'm only storing 71 work orders in this site, and the reason is because under status, when I load my work orders, I don't want to see my closed and canceled ones every time. I don't want to see my overdue. I've got my own overdue list there, right? But if I click on closed, Maxpanda just loaded 1,074 work orders on my desktop, and I can see 100 at a time, right? So there's 25 at a time as an example. This is your work order here. It is closed. Everything is stored to the cloud. Do you have any final questions or anything related to the work orders?
No, I don't think so.
Excellent. Let's go ahead and go into the PMs. PMs are important for you. Before we get there, I'll show you the calendar there. Now, the calendar asks you to filter your work orders by category, status, etc. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show everything here, so I'll update the calendar. All right, so there's the windows were super dirty, so it's closed now, brown.
Right.
This is the monthly, this is weekly, daily. Down here, I'll show you a grid, or image of all the status colors. Now this is the future work orders. These are your PMs that are scheduled. So as you can see, today is the 14th. Next Friday, there is a change pool filter that's going to activate. This is a future work order. This pulls it from here. All right. So anything that's scheduled will be coming here now. So as an example, if somebody cannot, like let's say on the 22nd, it's a holiday, you will not have anyone available to complete this one-day work order. You can actually set it to Thursday, right? Okay. I'm not going to do that, but everything is drag and drop and highlighted to quickly see who's assigned in the work order. Yes. I'm going to click on, so we've got boilerplates and templates. Templates are great to share your PMs across multi-sites, but if you only have one site, I don't suggest creating templates. You won't need them. Simply create a PM. I'm going to open up a PM called Ream HVAC Inspection. Mm-hmm. And a PM is 5 accordions. The first part is the details of your PM. So I'm calling it Ream HVAC. Ream is a 5-ton air handler unit on my roof. This is a 5-day due date, but I'm actually giving my team 14 days to complete. So what that means is depending on the schedule, let's say it's a monthly PM, So Maxpanda will generate a monthly work order against this asset, but my team will have 14 days to complete it, okay? Not 1 day or 7 or 5. I'm over. So I copied and pasted right from the O&M manual. This is the Ream HVAC commercial series, C13 unit. Ream wants me to do this every 3 to 4 weeks or every 3 months, whatever. So that you can type it out or you can upload your manuals to the PM itself. I'm pre-assigning my staff some parts to the work order and a vendor. Okay, so they're going to get automatically assigned to every work order this PM creates, whether it's a year contract or forever. And that happens from the scheduler. Okay, so a PM for changing filters could be set up as the first Monday of every 2 months. So every 2 months, on the first Monday, a new work order will generate, it'll assign the staff and the vendor, and it'll also have a 14-day automatic due date on it. It has no end date, so it'll run forever. But if I had a year contract, I can just go like this. So 6 work orders times 2, that's 2 months. That's a year contract with a specific vendor. I have 5 tasks that are assigned to the PM. They all have to be completed, all different data and details that I want to capture for every work order, all 6 work orders. Now, attachments, you can upload different attachments to the PM itself. I have a procedure diagram. This is like a 6 meg file that will help my my staff and vendor understand what to do and with this piece of equipment. I also have a safety checklist for insurance purposes. Every PM you create, you have a database of every work order it has generated for you. What's cool about that is I can go back to 2015, April 2015, edit the work order to see who worked on it, what did we do to it, what were the costs, et cetera, et cetera. Do you have any questions on the PMs?
No.
Excellent. I'm going to go into the reports right now. There are 25 different reports. They're all grouped in relation to certain categories. I'm going to run the SLA report here. SLA is going to be valuable for you. It stands for Service Level Agreement, deals with time and money. I'm going to run a report from March till today, and I won't filter my meter work orders, my PMs, and my work orders submitted. I want everything. I want this report to show me everything. So we use DevExpress for the reporting tools. In under 3 seconds, I created a 10-page report that I can save in different formats, Excel, CSV file, save to my desktop, or print it. This is your work order you asked, or your tenant requested today. So it is actually closed now. The report deals with time and money. The first part is all about the time. So we timestamp to the second when it was created, approved, started. What was the planned due date? Remember, it was 3 days, but you escalated. We changed it to 1 day, and it is now closed. So it's not overdue. It's awesome. We didn't complete it. I skipped all that. I just went to close. Now, if we go to the right of the report, this is all the details, any notes, comments that we captured. But at the far right, you'll notice we have the total hours, labor costs, parts costs, invoice, and grand total for every work order in your account. Any questions on that report?
No. Can you do BI reports? Like, is there business intelligence reports that you can tie in, or no?
That's excellent. So, question right now. So I'm gonna leave the application right now. Before I leave, I just want to show you under sites, you've got your guest portal. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to create 1,000 tenants. You can simply copy this. Like, all you need is a code word. You copy this, your site name, your link. You put it on your web page behind a hyperlink, behind an image that says, submit your work orders. Now, you can customize the form, show what you want to show. The form also creates a QR code. Okay, so you can show the title, guest portal. So if you have QR code reader, everyone does on their iPhones, they can scan this and submit a work order right in the front lobby. The forms also can have any links you want to add to them, like terms and conditions or help files, whatever, and that's all within the form itself. So that's site management, and each site has its own guest portal. Before I leave here, I want to show you the asset module. So under assets, well, first of all, here you've got your parts and your bins. You can have unlimited bins. The bins also have QR codes and barcodes as well. But this is my HVAC. There's that HVAC unit. This is a piece of equipment here. And you can download all the QR codes in one batch. So a piece of equipment has your details of the equipment, any parts assigned to it. Remember those filters came up? Mm-hmm. Any meter triggers you want, that's for fleet management. There's those images and docs that I created. This is the QR code that cannot be scanned by free QR code readers. It is only scanned by our mobile app. It's built into the mobile. So you don't need to purchase any hardware. And you can batch all of yours in one sheet.
What about for barcode readers?
It's all built into the app.
How do you print them then?
Sorry?
How do you print them?
Here, I'll go to my parts here. Let's say I have 35 parts right here. I select the first 10.
Right.
I'm only showing 10. I can download all the barcodes right now in like this. Mm-hmm. Or I can download the QR codes. So the QR codes, you have an option to put, you can print 16 per page, medium size.
You print it on a label printer, not on a printer.
You would save this as a PDF file and then use the label printer, yes.
Okay.
Because you can download individual ones or PDFs.
Okay.
So a sheet on the PDF like this, Avery labels. Good question.
No, I'm not talking about Avery labels. I'm talking about like a label maker, like a P-Touch.
Sure. Just, yeah. And just from the PDF, would it work? Yeah. Or individual images?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't used the P-Touch before.
Okay.
But I know customers use this and use various systems. So
okay.
Gotta work. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna go here because we're at our hour mark there. Now I'm gonna send you an email, and in that email it's gonna have this link here, role management. Mm-hmm. There's Excel and PDF file. It explains what every role can do in Maxpanda. So we're pretty transparent, right? We don't hide anything here. Map. Okay. So we are pushing out 3 different modules for our APIs. So next month is the CRM, which again, I don't think you'll use at all.
Right.
That's number 1. The CRM is built with the accounting too. So we're going to integrate with QuickBooks and other online systems. Now I believe in August is our final step here. That's when the reports and BI is going to be included. So if you're using any systems like this or if you want to just download in Maxpanda all those like in CSV file, you can certainly upload that into MSBI or something, some current system that can import Excel. But that is the future of Maxpanda is once the API goes live next month, our team is developing that in 3 stages. So
I'd like to know more about how it ties to purchasing.
Sure. Okay. These are my
parts.
Pardon me?
If I want to purchase parts.
Yeah, so I can from your supplier?
Yeah.
So I've got vendor here. This is a vendor, electrical here. I don't know. You can simply create your purchase here. If I go to view all purchase orders, this one's approved. Somebody approved. You can have an approval process as well.
How does the approval process work?
Let's go back here. Right here. So request approval from. So if I need to request approval from Gary, Gary's going to get an email. He can log in here and open up the PO and approve it. And that'll send me an email so it's approved and I can continue on for that.
Can there be attachments included in this approval process?
Yeah, right here, files.
Okay.
Yeah, any attachments. So view all purchase orders. So this one's an approved one. So just to show you here, shall.
And can you see the attachments on the mobile too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are my purchase order items. Somebody requested toilet paper, or ordered amounts. You've got manufacturer, all the details that you need. Print out the receipt. It's not completed yet. Any attachments that I've added. So yeah, the purchase order has four different areas there.
Okay. And can there be more approvals than, like, can it be more than just one person approving it?
That's a good question. That's development, actually. Somebody requested that. So what we're doing is we're changing. Where is it here? Let me go back. Sorry. It's changed already. I'm sorry. Yeah, there you go.
So how many approvals could we have?
Well, you can send it to 3, but whoever approves it first, it's going to be approved. You can't have 3 approvals. Once it's approved, it's approved. You can send it.
You can't have approval levels then?
Not approval levels, no. Yeah, initially we only had it single, and I guess on Sunday they did it live, so this update. So now you can send to 3 people, but once it's approved, it's approved. It's a single approval process.
Okay. That might be a bit of a deal breaker for us. What other softwares could it integrate with for purchasing then?
Well, there's no integration right now because the API is not live.
Okay.
Yeah, but but we are going to be integrated with accounting systems like the other multiple accounting systems.
Okay, and that was like QuickBooks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Where was that list?
What do you use?
QuickBooks.
Oh, excellent. And that's what you're using right now?
Mm-hmm.
So like for approvals?
Well, for accounting, but I want to tie the approval process in somewhere.
Right. Yeah, because I know estimations are something in the horizon. We want to. Our team is working on estimations within the purchase order as well before it gets to that purchase order. There's a big life cycle and development happening in the PO system.
Okay.
You know, so again,
and when did you say that was happening again?
Everything should be done by August. Yeah. So we want you to get an estimate from multiple vendors. We want you to select the winner. We want that to go to the PO. We want you to be approved for that PO after the estimate, and then those parts go right into the work order, or sorry, your inventory.
Okay.
Yeah. And our prices don't change. So I do invite, you're obviously looking around, shopping around. So all this development here, and let me just go to technical here, blog. So if you look at the blog, every month we post what goes live in Maxpanda. So again, July, like at the end of the month is when the client portal comes out.
Okay.
SSO integration and all the other stuff. It's always listed, right? So our customers give us that ideas, and it goes into the development roadmap. Because we know when we develop it, the better the system will be, right, for everybody. Now, I'm also going to send you this email or this link here, GoMax, bunch of screenshots with the mobile.
Okay.
Everything I've done today and the video I'm going to send you is mimicked on the mobile app. Okay. And it is an installed app. It's not a web app. And it's got the built-in QR reader and built-in barcode reader, guest portal reader, etc. So I'll send you all that, all these links. And if you do have further questions, just email me right away.
I will do.
Yeah. Do you have anything right now?
No, I think I'm good, Steve. Let me look at what you send me. Thank you very much for your time.
Awesome. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye now.